Hi everyone. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, who really am I? In this lesson, we'll explore how psychology helps us understand what makes us us. But before we get started, let's quickly check what we're trying to learn today. This lesson objectives will help guide us. What is self in psychology? In psychology, the self is basically who you are, your personal identity. It's the mix of your thoughts, feelings, values, beliefs, abilities, and memories. It's how you see yourself, how you think others see you, and even who you want to become in the future. Psychologists like William James, who was one of the most prominent thinkers in psychology and is often called the father of American psychology, and Carl Rogers, an American psychologist and author, and one of the originators of the humanistic approach to psychology, helped us understand the self as both a doer and an observer. The I makes choices and acts, while the me is how we think about ourselves. But the self isn't just made up of actions and thoughts. It's also about how we define ourselves over time and how that definition grows. So let's talk about identity and self concept. Our identity is all about our roles, traits, or groups. Ito ay nakabase sa mga papel mo sa buhay. Halimbawa, ikaw bilang isang estudyante, ikaw bilang isang anak. Kasama rin dito yung mga katangian mo, yung pagiging masipag mo o pagiging matalino o pagiging mahiyain. At kasama rin yung mga grupong kinabibilangan mo. Halimbawa, barkada mo o kung ikaw ay isang miyembro ng isang organization or sports team. Our self-concept is how we see ourselves. Kung paano natin nakikita o iniisip ang sarili natin sa itsura, sa ugali, sa talento, at kung sino tayo bilang isang tao. Identity and self-concept are like the labels and descriptions we attach to ourselves. They shift as we experience life. Who you are at 15 isn't the same as who you will be at 25. And how do we keep track of all these changes? That's where our mental file system, our self schema, comes in. Your self schema is your mental folder of everything you know about yourself. As you gain new experiences, you rewrite that folder, kind of like updating your profile. Again, self schema is like a mental folder about yourself. Example, parang may nakasave kang file sa utak mo na nagsasabi kung sino ka, yung mga paniniwala mo, mga karanasan mo, at kung paano ka kumikilos sa isang sitwasyon. Halimbawa, kung iniisip mong mahiyain ka, nakasave yan sa self-schema mo. Kaya, madalas kang iwas sa spotlight or public speaking. Matagal yan sa isip mo at hindi yan basta-basta nagbabago. But inside that mental profile are also our inner conflicts, wants, morals, and decisions. This leads us to Freud's theory of the mind. According to Sigmund Freud, our personality has three parts that are always in conflict. The id runs on pleasure principle, which means that it is the part that seeks pleasure and wants things right away, even if it's wrong. If you are an id-dominated person, maihahalin tulad ka sa isang bata na gusto lahat ng nais niya ay maibigay agad-agad. The superego is our moral judge or conscience that tells us what's right and wrong. Of course, ang moral judgment natin ay base sa values at rules na natutunan mula sa environment. The ego is the decision maker that tries to balance everything. Siya ang taga-pamagitan. Nagdi-decide kung ano ang tamang gawin sa pagitan ng gusto ng id at ng pamantayan ng superego. It's like having a devil, a strict angel, and a referee all inside your mind. While these mental forces shape our decisions, there's another powerful influence on the self: our society and relationships. Society gives identity. The roles we play, like being a student or sibling, and how we act often come from what society expects from us. Others reflect who we are. The people around us, like friends and family, help us see ourselves more clearly. Parang salamin sila na nagpapakita kung paano tayo nakikita ng iba. Values often come from culture. What we believe is right or wrong, important or not, usually comes from the traditions and teachings of our community or country. We don't grow in a vacuum. Society teaches us what's acceptable, and others help shape how we see ourselves. Even our goals are often influenced by those around us. So, how aware are we of who we are? Now, let's talk about our private self. Your private self is the real you that no one sees. It includes your thoughts, feelings, and dreams. Your public self is how others see you. It's your image or the version of yourself you show to people, like, for example, kahit pagod ka, you still try to be friendly and approachable sa mga kaklase mo. The actual self is who you are right now. The ideal self is who you want to be. That includes your goals or your dreams. Your old self is who you think you should be. Of course, that will be based on rules or expectations. Sometimes these three don't match, and that can cause stress, but being aware of them helps you understand yourself better and grow. Now, let's see how these multiple selves affect something very personal: our self esteem. Self esteem is how we value ourselves. Paano natin binibigyang halaga ang ating mga sarili. How we value ourselves depends on how we compare ourselves to others. There are two kinds of comparisons that could affect us. The first one is downward comparison. This is when you compare yourself to someone doing worse than you. Like, you're comparing yourself to somebody na sa tingin mo mas mababa ang level kumpara sa iyong sarili. It usually makes you feel better or more confident. On the other hand, upward comparison is when you compare yourself to someone doing better. It can inspire you to improve, but sometimes it can also make you feel insecure or not good enough. So, whether it's grades, looks, or skills, we often compare ourselves to others. Sometimes it boosts our confidence, other times it hurts. But what if someone close to you outshines you? Let's talk about how we react when our ego feels threatened. This can be best explained by self evaluation maintenance theory, which says that we feel good or bad about ourselves depending on how we compare to people close to us. Like, for example, if a friend does really well at something important to us, we might feel jealous or threatened. We usually respond in three ways. Sometimes, para hindi masaktan ang pride natin, we distance ourselves from them. Or maybe we redefine what's important. we start looking at or assessing our abilities. Perhaps our strengths are in other areas. But the best part is to put in more effort to grow and take inspiration from those we look up to. But trying too hard to feel good about ourselves can sometimes backfire and lead to something unhealthy. It could lead to narcissism. Narcissism is when someone is too focused on themselves and thinks they're better than everyone else. It's like overconfidence to the extreme. Now, healthy self esteem is different. It's about accepting who you are, flaws and all, while still putting in the effort to grow and improve. The tricky part? There is a fine line between the two. So we need to check ourselves from time to time to make sure our confidence isn't turning into arrogance. The self is not just who you are today, it's the sum of your thoughts, the weight of your choices, the whispers of your past, and the dreams of your future. Every culture you belong to, every person you meet, every challenge you overcome, they all leave their mark. Like John Dewey said, the self is not ready made, it's built through the actions you choose. So keep going. Take time to reflect. You are more than a label, you are a story in progress.